So yesterday we had a look at the study The Clumsy Child, which is an object held at the Wellcome collection. And then for today, the object we're focusing on is an extract which is taken from the UK Education Department's draft circular, and it's basically an extract talking about the introduction of the 11 plus exam. So this was written in July 1945, and this extract is held at the National Archive.
So I'm really passionate about supporting young people and raising awareness of biases in the education system. When I was 13, I moved from an area that hadn't had the 11 plus, I think, since the 1960s, to an area where they still have the 11 plus today. And I really messed up their system. They didn't know where to place me without completing the 11 plus. So the 11 plus was created with the help of the educational psychologist and eugenicist Cyril Burt, who was one of the people involved in creating the 11 plus exam. Burt's research was around how we inherit intelligence. His research is known to be fake. He researched twins who had been separated at birth to live with different families to see if you were more intelligent if you came from a wealthier family than if you did from a poorer family. He believed that if you came from a wealthy family, you would naturally have more intelligence. His research is now known to be, or thought to be fake. The 11 plus is based on eugenics. Cyril Burt was interested in eugenics and was involved in the Mental Deficiency Act in 1913. So this test is used to segregate children based on their level of IQ and to remove what they would have called the feeble-minded children to live in what they also called the colony, what we would say is an asylum. And I'm really curious to know, why do we still have the 11 plus today when we know its history, and can we still have 11 plus schools, I mean grammar schools, and have the 11 plus, and schools be inclusive? Schools today have been known to off-roll students before they take their GCSE exam, so they don't affect the overall GCSE grade rate of their school. So I am really interested in how we educate and also assess children, like what's the most inclusive way of doing so.
I mean, I would say that probably in terms of how inclusive the education system is, kind of irrespective of what type of school you go to, unfortunately, I think there is still a lack of awareness around a lot of the conditions. And kind of like, even though there are much less grammar schools than when they were first kind of initially brought into the British education system, it's not like all the issues and barriers have lifted for neurodivergent people. I do think there are more considerations. I'm only just thinking back to when I'm at school that can be put in place. For example, I know people with dyslexia could have extra time in exams, and they might have some more points added. And also, I know that in universities, there's been the introduction of the disabled students allowance, which can give people with different neurodivergent conditions some support to help them with their studies. I think just when you were talking about like segregating people, I do think that, like, as well as education in and of itself, it's actually important to think about, you know, if we're going to separate young people at 11 based on ability, kind of the social impact that has. Because, you know, if you're kept, you know, only with a group of people that are like you, you know, I actually think, you know, it's just better at, you know, in order to create a more inclusive society, it's good to actually be around people that are different to you, learn in different ways. And, you know, that's not a bad thing. I think just on the point you made about, you know, why do we still have the 11 plus? Why do we still have grammar schools? I think that when they were introduced, the idea was that grammar schools would help to increase social mobility in the UK, as they could support some children from certain backgrounds that, you know, to gain access to better schooling, which could lead them into higher education. And those children normally wouldn't get those kinds of opportunities. I am, you know, also passionate about, you know, increasing social mobility for all types of people in the UK. And I think the education system can play an important role in that. However, I don't actually think, nowadays that grammar schools are actually impactful in terms of improving social mobility. So if they're not actually achieving those aims, and they're only maybe potentially discriminating against, certain types of people, including neurodivergent people, it's just, is it really worth it, basically?
Yeah, and shouldn't all schools be trying to improve young people's social mobility to go on to what they want to achieve in life, no matter what type of school they go to?
Yeah, that's true as well.